going to be talking about corn header setup and maintenance items. We have a Geringhoff Northstar header, and what we're going to start out with is our deck plate angle, and we're going to check that using our deck plates as a guide. We're going to be able to adjust that angle using our feeder house faceplate. For most instances, we're probably going to use that rolled back some to flatten out that angle so it's not quite so aggressive. There's going to be times when we need to change that angle due to crop conditions, excessively dry crop or things of that nature, and we'll do that with our feeder house. We're also going to be looking at the wear that we have on our deck plates. We want a nice even edge here. This rod that's welded to the deck plate, we want that to be pretty smooth and uniform front to back. We also want to check our deck plate spacing. We're going to close those deck plates down, set them to our proper measurement. After we get our deck plates closed and adjusted properly, then we're going to re-zero our indicator, which will be inside the cab on this model. We're going to go on to, after we get our angles checked and we know they're like we want them, we're going to move on to our snouts. What we're going to do is make sure that all of these snouts, the inner snouts, are in a nice straight line and all even across the full length of the header. And we're going to set our outside dividers just a little bit higher than our inside points. At this point, we're also going to check our height sensors. The Geringhoff header uses the Headsight height sensing system. We're going to check these arms. We're going to look for brakes, springs missing, things of that nature. We're going to check to make sure that our wiring harness that runs the length of our snout back to our header frame is in good condition and not pulled and broken or cut. We're going to check the connections where the sensor actually plugs to the harness. We want that to be a good connection, and we don't want our cable stretched too tightly so it might pull out while we're running through the field, or a corn stalk could grab a hold of it and pull on it for us.
All right, at the start of the season, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our row units. The first thing we're going to look at is our stalk roll knives down here. We want to make sure that they're as close as possible without touching and evenly spaced from front to back. Then we're going to come up here to the stalk roll bearing and make sure that it's good and greased for the season. After that, we want to come up here and look at the gathering chain out of the roller, make sure it's good and tight, all the teeth are good, and the drive sprocket at the back. We're going to look at our chain, make sure our chain is good and tight and in good condition, our chain guides, and our tensioners. We don't want our tensioners bounding up because that'll pop the chain off right in the middle of the season. After that, we're going to come back here and check our gearbox oil with a dipstick, and then check underneath for leaks on the gearboxes.
We have a few things to check out on the back and the side of the header. Starting on the side here, we've got a couple of gearboxes that we need to check the oil level in that drive our main shaft drive that controls our row units. Coming back this way, we're going to check our PTO drive line, which has a couple of grease fittings in it that we're going to want to hit. We'll also check our hydraulic coupler. We want to make sure this is clean of any debris before we couple the combine to it. That way we don't push any dirt down inside and create problems with our seals. We want to do the same thing with our electrical connections. We want to keep these clean, make sure they're blown out before we connect. That way we don't cause any pin and terminal damage. Here's our Headsight Control Box. This is where we're going to do some of the calibrations for our headsight system. We also want to check the condition of these wires that run underneath the header and go out to each of our sensors.
All right, we want to come up here and take a look at our auger. We want to make sure that the height is the same from left to right, and it's adjustable with these cogs on the left and right in the front. We want to make sure that the auger is not scraping the pan anywhere, that our pan is in good shape, and also the scraper bars in the back are in good shape. The Geringhoff has adjustable and changeable paddles in the center.
On behalf of H&R Agri-Power, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch our instructional videos. If you have questions or comments related to any of the content that you saw in the videos, please feel free to leave a message in our comment box, or if you'd like to take advantage of one of our equipment inspections, please feel free to reach out to your local H&R Agri-Power Service Department. Again, thank you.